Hey YouTube, it's Adrian. Just before we get you to this video, do me a favor and head over to pageantlaunch.com. We are starting the world's first dedicated pageant review site, and I would love for you to join our launch team. All you need to do is put in your email address. It's completely free. We are looking to make a pageant industry that is safe, transparent, and fair. I know it's like that most of the time, but over the last year, it's become very evident that it's not like that all of the time. So head over to pageantlaunch.com, put in your email address, and let's get you to this video.
Hi, I'm Emma Snow. I'm a Miss World Australia State Finalist for 2020, and this is my interview with the Pageant Project.
G'day guys, it's Adrian from the Pageant Project, and I can finally say g'day because I'm interviewing someone from Australia for the first time in a very long time. Emma Snow, who is a Miss World Australia State Finalist for 2020. Emma, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm very well. It's extremely cold in Melbourne at the moment, but I'm all rugged up and just excited to be interacting with you again after so long.
You don't look rugged up.
Oh, well, I wasn't going to say it, but I am wearing trackies on the bottom half.
Oh, okay.
It's all part of the movie magic.
You and I have something in common then, because I might be wearing a suit top on top, but I am wearing grey, very daggy grey track pants underneath. So it's the stuff you don't see. It's only, from the waist up that we need to see. And Emma was... First time, I've never seen anyone doing or heard anyone doing vocal warm-ups before the interview. So can you demonstrate any of them for us, or do they sound a little odd?
I was doing a lot of lip drills, which is just a kind of just to warm up my lips and get sounds moving, all of part of my acting training.
I couldn't do. If I did that, I would just spit all over the webcam. That would be terrible. And by the way, last time I interacted with Emma was when I was with Emma Collingridge, and we visited Emma Snow down in Melbourne. Sorry, there's too many Emmas. And I don't know if you know this, but I'm fascinated by accents. And you said you were going to work on your accent. So how are your accents going, Emma?
They're actually going quite well. I've been spending a lot of time, all of my time in isolation, just picking little different accents to learn. They're all still in the very baby stages, I would say, but I'm hoping to get a few up since talking to you guys and hearing Emma's beautiful British accent. I really wanted to get that down pat. So I am working with an accent coach at the moment, which is really fun.
Oh, amazing. Okay, so
Yeah.
what's your strongest or favorite accent so far?
I really do like general American. It's very versatile and, it will always come in handy as an actor. Otherwise, I am trying to do a bit more of my British accent as well, which I find harder, which is strange because it's closer to an Australian accent than an American accent is. It's just those tiny little tweaks that you have to make.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Also the UK has, and I know this from experience, there are hundreds probably of different accents in the UK. It's ridiculous. Every time I interview someone from the UK, one of the most exciting parts for me is what accent is she going to have? Do you have a Scottish accent in there anywhere? That's someone that everyone is fascinated by.
No, that's the one I'm working on at the moment. My dad absolutely loves Scottish accents, and so he wants me to get a really strong one happening. But I'm not great at it, I would say, just yet.
Have you heard the Spice Girl tip for Scottish accent?
No, what was that?
Okay, and I was given this by a Scottish person to full disclosure. By the way, guys, if you're listening to this random interview, if you have any questions for Emma, put them in the comments, and I'll pass them on to her soon, just once I tell her this. According to Olivia McPike, who is currently Miss Grand UK, if you want to say Spice Girl in a Scottish accent, all you have to do is say Space Ghetto in an American accent.
Right. All right. Space Ghetto.
No, in an American accent.
Wait.
You have to say Space Ghetto in an American accent.
Space Ghetto. Oh, wow.
That's, I've never heard anyone do it so well.
That was
That
really
was,
good.
it was much
I need
better
to
than me.
fire
And
my accent coach. I don't need it.
I mean, all you can do is say Spice Girl, unless your acting is very, very niche.
That's all I say. It's my one line.
That was amazing. I never heard it work that well. I always said that was a little bit, no, it doesn't work. You're having me on. That actually worked that time. All right. I'll have to tell Olivia that. All right. So the comments, here we go. Kyle, Casey, Cuthbert has said, yes, Emma. Lauren and Ariana are over from the UK. Yeah, and Lauren has said, perfect. That's brilliant, Emma. It was very, very good Scottish. It's never worked so well. So
Thank
well
you.
done. You've impressed the UK fans. Now, in terms of the easy stuff, let's get the easy stuff out of the way. Can you tell everyone about your pageantry journey, how you got involved first off, and how it's led you to where you are today, where you are a state finalist from Victoria for Miss World Australia 2020?
Yeah, absolutely. So it started in October of 2018, and I was just about to finish my uni. I got a Bachelor of Arts in Acting, and I wanted to kind of jump into something straight away. So I applied for Miss Universe Australia, and I was accepted into that. And I had a really great time with that organisation. And then when I didn't progress in that, I heard about Miss World after I met Esma, who is a former title holder.
Esma Loader. Yep.
Yes, and she suggested that I get involved with Miss World, so I did, and I competed last year, but I wasn't too successful in that. I know I wasn't just in a great space to compete at the time, so this year I decided to come back more ready than ever, and I'm really happy with how it's been going.
So how do you feel that pageantry has sort of helped you in your, I mean, for most people, pageantry is very much a self-development journey. So in what aspects do you feel you've developed or changed as a person along those sort of 2 years?
I think it's definitely helped me be a lot more confident in myself, and it's made me realize the kind of woman that I want to be when you're surrounded by so many incredible women from such diverse backgrounds. It's really inspiring. And that's what I've loved the most, is kind of making all those friends from meeting girls at the pageants. They're all lifelong friends now. And they've really had a massive impact on me and shaping me into who I've become.
Sure. Do you have any particular women in the pageant world that you would say would be your role models or inspirations for yourself at the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. Esma is a big one for me. She's helped me out so much.
Sure.
And she really does inspire me a lot. And then there's just a lot of the girls that, you know, I compete with, who I see, you know, Clara Messo, who I caught up with not long ago. She's always great to see, and she's such a hard worker. I've never seen someone work as hard as her, and she's just incredible.
Yeah, I caught up with Clara while she was over here in Sydney, and it was the longest dinner I've ever had. I don't mean it in a bad way. We got talking about pageantry, and we ended up talking, I think it was for 4 hours, and we basically got kicked out of the restaurant at the end.
Oh my goodness.
Clara, if you're watching this, hi, hope you're doing well. Now, Rhonda Lindsay has said, love you with an X.
My mom. Hi, Mom.
Okay. And Amy Johnson has said that was amazing. Guys, if you I'm assuming that was about the Scottish accent. So if you have any questions for Emma, put them in the comments. If you have any accents that you would like her to try, you can also put those in the comments, or anything random, you can also put those in the comments. Emma, why don't you tell us about your day job as well, in terms of acting, how you got into that, what it means to you, and how's it going, given that, you know, Corona, the whole world has just gone crazy in 2020. Tell us a little bit about the acting.
Yeah, of course. So I started acting when I was 5 years old. My beautiful mum, Rhonda, she put me into drama classes to help build my confidence. I was a very shy child, and I just ended up loving it. I stuck with it. I got my first agent when I was 14, and then when I finished school, I went straight to drama school. So I went to the Federation University Arts Academy in Ballarat, and I studied my Bachelor of Arts in Acting there. And since finishing, I now work as a children's entertainer, which is the best job ever. I get to put on an amazing costume every day, do all the Disney princess characters, and it's just the most rewarding job, especially in an industry where jobs are so few and far between. To have that as a day-to-day job that I can go and do is just, it's an absolute dream.
Who's your favorite Disney character? Or who's your favorite Disney princess?
I mean, I personally really like characters like Ariel because she's so, every time I play her, I just imagine it's my first time on land. And I keep asking the kids, you know, what's this? What's this? And they just love showing me around and teaching me about, you know, the human world. But a kid's favorite character has to be Elsa from Frozen. And there's no better feeling than when you walk into a party dressed as Elsa and you're just confronted with a sea of Elsas who are all screaming.
A sea of Elsas. You've got, I assume you've got all the outfits down pat, right? For all these different. How many outfits? How many different outfits do you have?
Well, I work through a company, so they just allocate me the outfits. But currently I have 4 sitting in my house at the moment. I have Elsa from Frozen 1 and Frozen 2. And then I have Tinkerbell as well. And then I have a character from Trolls at the moment.
Okay. So how does it go? What's the first thing you put on the outfit and you arrive at the children's party, let's say? Mm-hmm. So is there a certain like order or things that you have to do? Like, how does it go? I've never done this before. I would make a horrible children's entertainer. So tell me, what happens when you turn up?
Yeah, so basically you rock up, you're in your full costume, which means that you do have to drive to the party in your costume. And I've gotten the strangest looks. I once had my entire cape in the car door outside of my car and I didn't even realize. And I had people shooting at me because there's an Elsa cape flying out of my car. But yeah, you get to the party and all the kids are very excited to see you, obviously. So you usually do, you start with like a crowning ceremony. So you make them an honorary princess, give them a crown. Then you go into a magic show, you do some games, bubbles, musical statues, and then you do face painting and balloons at the end usually.
And then do you ever go and like have a coffee or like a muffin or something while still in your gear? Because I heard this story, Benedict Cumberbatch, because he's shooting Doctor Strange and in New York, and he said he wanted to go to a cafe to get a coffee and he obviously couldn't get out of his gear. So he literally walked into a cafe dressed completely as Doctor Strange. And he said the thing about New York is everyone looked at him for like 5 seconds. And then they just go about their day because they're New Yorkers. Have you ever done that? Like walked into like a Macca's or something, like in full Elsa gear?
Yes, I have. I often have days where I'm doing back-to-back parties, so I don't really have time to go home in between. So it means if I do need to, say, go to the bathroom somewhere, I usually just stop off at a McDonald's. And unfortunately, it's usually on weekends, so it's a busy Saturday afternoon, and I just have to walk in with all the confidence in the world, just going, yep, I'm in an Elsa costume, and people do look at you, people ask for photos, but it's all part of the fun.
What's the weirdest memory you have about being in costume? Like, what's the weirdest situation that you found yourself in?
I've definitely been asked out a few times in costume on dates, which I personally find really strange. But the weirdest one was when I got asked out while I was in a lion onesie as Simba from The Lion King.
Do they want to date you in that character? They do realize that's not actually you, right? I mean, they don't want to date a lion cub. It's slightly disturbing.
It is, I would agree.
This is why we don't interview Australians, because we do things a bit different, different down under. Let me just go to the comments. Lauren Whitelaw. Oh, did I say that Olivia was Miss Grand UK? Yes, I have Grand on the mind, Lauren, as you know.
Yes, you do.
So she's Miss Galaxy UK. Lauren has also asked, what is your favorite pageant memory?
Oh, that's a really good question, actually. I'm one of those people who really enjoys, as ironic as it is being an actor and a performer, I love the time leading up to the show. So any backstage time, and I would honestly say a lot of my favorite memories are just sitting backstage eating lollies with the girls. And we're all in our cute little cocktail dresses getting ready to go on, all a bit nervous, and just excited. It's that excited energy backstage.
Do you have a favorite lolly? What's your go-to lolly?
Oh, I love sour lollies. So I'd love like sour worms, any of those. I always bring lots of lollies to the pageants.
You're not alone. For anyone who doesn't know, pageant girls eat a lot and often not very healthily. In my experience,
Yeah.
is anything to go by. Chris Lindsay has said, "Hi Emma, love from me," and that's a name that I never know how to pronounce. Do you know?
Cheyenne, that's my cousin and my auntie.
Okay, great interview. Lauren has said, "I swear you have my dream job." That sounds amazing. Are you talking about the acting or dressing up as Elsa, Lauren? You'll have to be. I think I know a lot of pageant girls actually do dress up as Elsa. A lot of them are performers, which probably doesn't surprise you. They go hand
That's
in hand.
right.
Is this someone that you know? Alida Futit? Wow, wow, wow. And Rhonda has said, takes after her mum.
Thanks, Mum.
So in terms of the acting, do you have any, I'm sure you do, so I'll ask, what are your career goals sort of longer term? And acting, as I understand it, it's a very hit and miss, like feast and famine. Like you never know when work is coming in. You never know if you're going to get your big break or when it's going to happen. So how do you sort of if you have a long-term goal, how do you structure that around, geez, it's acting, I never know really what's going to happen?
I think at the moment, what I'm really focusing on is just doing everything I can given the circumstances. And at the moment, I'm saving as much as I can because I'd really like to study my master's internationally next year. I'm hoping to go to the UK to study to help further my career and do my master's in acting for screen, which is where my passion really lies, is in screen acting. In terms of long-term goals, I'd love to, obviously make it to Hollywood and do really big budget films. But yeah, I'm just kind of taking it one day at a time. And it's often not really about the size of the project. It's about what it means to you and how you connect to it.
Sure. Do you have any particular genre that you're attracted to in acting?
Honestly, a bit of everything. I always do love more dramatic kind of character-driven roles that are all about dynamics between people. But I also do like doing comedy. I find comedy really fun as well. And then I've talked about this at pageants before, but I'm such a horror movie fanatic. It's crazy. So I wouldn't ever say no to being in a horror movie, even if I'm the first one, killed off.
So you're good at watching them or you're horrible at watching them? Like, which way is it? Do you run out the room screaming or you love watching it whilst everyone else is?
I love watching them. I watch them to fall to sleep some nights.
Why?
I don't know. I find them really relaxing. I find them so relaxing. Same with my dad. He, whenever I see him, we just watch so many horror movies together because I just love it. I find it more relaxing than like a rom-com because rom-coms make me really emotional, whereas horror movies, I'm just kind of along for a fun ride.
That's a first, falling asleep to horror movies. I have to ask, because you would have watched so many movies, both, for personal pleasure and from a professional sense. If you had to shortlist your favorite movies of all time, I'm not going to get you to pick one, but what are some of the movies that for you are sort of the all-time classics that you look at and go, oh my God, as an actor or an actress, that's what I would like to be part of someday?
Wow, that's such a good question. One of my current favorite movies is a movie called Midsummer, which is a horror movie, but it's such a beautiful film as well with one of my favorite actresses, Florence Pugh. That's definitely up there. As soon as I saw that, for me, it was just an instant classic. It's definitely not for everyone. It's quite a confronting and hard to watch film, but it's also stunning. I love movies like, I love American Psycho. That's another favorite of mine with Christian Bale. I went as Patrick Bateman from that movie for Halloween last year, and no one got my costume, but I was very proud of it. And I loved everyone who got that costume because it's one of my favorite movies. Otherwise, I'm trying to get a lot more into foreign films to broaden my horizons. And at the very start of isolation, I watched the movie Parasite, which is absolutely brilliant Korean movie. Have you seen it?
No, but my brother's wife is Korean, and their little son, has started watching Korean horror movies like about zombies and Train to Busan or something. So,
I love Train to Busan.
well, and he's 5 years old. I'm not sure he should be watching it, but no, I haven't seen Parasite. So please continue.
It's brilliant. It won the Oscar for Best Picture last year, and it was the first foreign language movie to ever win the Best Picture Oscar. So,
Oh wow.
I found that really amazing. And the director, the entire cast, is so passionate in the film. It's a really beautifully made movie with such a kind of relevant story to what's happening. It's all about class in society, and it's just such a brilliant movie. So I highly recommend getting more into foreign films, because that's what I'm trying to do, and it really does open up so many more films for you.
Yeah, I would imagine it's very similar to traveling to different countries. It really broadens your horizons. So, I mean, that's movies. And another obvious question I have to ask is, in terms of who you most look up to in the acting world, or who would you die to work with right now? Who are some of your favorite actors and actresses?
Like I said, I love Florence Pugh at the moment. She's an actress who's she was in Little Women, she was in Midsummer, she's in an amazing TV show called The Little Drummer Girl as well. And she's such a huge inspiration to me. She's very close in age to me, and just watching her career and how talented she is, it really gives me a lot of hope in our industry. And really does inspire me. But other than that, directors I'd love to work with. I don't know if you know who Simon Pegg is. He made Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. I just absolutely adore Simon Pegg, and I would give anything to work with him, honestly. He's definitely up there as well in terms of directors.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's the one that also starred in Mission Impossible opposite Tom Cruise, wasn't he?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, he is.
It was funny. I don't know if you saw the interview, but he was retelling a story in which him and Tom, I'm going to call him by his first name, but Tom Cruise were in a car, and Cruise always does his own stunts, and he crashed the car, and all the cast and all the crew run up to him, up to the car. And they all run up. Simon Pegg's in the car, and they all go, Tom, are you okay? And no one asks Simon if he's okay. Everyone's concerned about Tom Cruise. Simon's just lying there. It's like, oh God, he's not Tom Cruise.
Don't worry. But you just made me think one more director has to be Quentin Tarantino as well.
Okay.
Just adore Quentin Tarantino's work.
I saw an interview with him on YouTube recently. I don't know if you've seen the same thing, how he got into filmmaking. It was very, very odd. Not in a weird way, but I think he tried shooting his own film, and he saved up all his money to get like a video camera, and he ended up shooting this film over a span of a few months, I think. And I don't think he actually used most of it. I think he found out it was absolute rubbish at the end, but that's how he started. It was a very odd for one of the most famous directors in the world. I was also going to ask, if someone's watching this and they aspire to become an actor or an actress, what advice would you give to them? I mean, obviously you're early on in your career, but you've been through a lot. So what advice would you give to someone who's aspiring to become an actor or actress?
Just kind of get into it, honestly. If you do have the means to go and get training or meet with any acting coaches or anything like that, that can be a huge benefit. But yeah, just start, there's a lot of open auditions for short films and everything on online that you can find. And they're always looking for people who are looking for just experience. And you just kind of have to start from the ground up, just basically start small.
Yeah.
But also don't be afraid to help yourself along the way in terms of, furthering your training and really refining yourself.
Yeah. It's a lot of hard work, basically. Work hard, apply for everything, and then leave the rest up to the universe, I
That's
feel.
right.
Okay, so let's go to the questions. Lauren here has asked, if you are planning on coming to the UK, would you do a British pageant to feel the difference, if any, from an Australian pageant? That's assuming you'd be able to enter one, but would you like to enter a British pageant?
I wouldn't say no if I had the opportunity. I really got into pageants from watching YouTube videos of UK pageant girls. I found that really helpful, and it really gave me an idea of what the pageant scene was like over there. And I think it looks amazing over there. Just everyone's so committed, and there's so much, just so much behind it, So I would absolutely do a UK pageant if I could.
That's a surprise that you say you watch the UK girls, because usually the stock response is obviously they've watched the American girls, or some of some of the international girls as well. But that's interesting that you clued into the UK girls. Now, one of my podcast co-hosts is on. This is another Lauren. She has said, hey. Then Lauren Whitelaw has said, Simon Pegg is brilliant. I love him. And then Lauren, who, as I said, is my podcast co-host, and she's currently a finalist for Miss World Wales, if and when that goes ahead. And she's asked, I wondered, what made you want to enter Miss World Australia?
Yes, well, firstly, my dad is from Wales, so hi, Lauren. I'm sure he'll be very excited to know that you're competing, representing the beautiful country of Wales. But I really got into Miss World because I loved the focus on beauty with a purpose, and that was what I was really looking for in a pageant, was something that just kind of forced me to elevate myself and give back to the world. And that's what I really resonate with within the Miss World organisation, is that beauty with a purpose, that focus on being charitable and being generous. And I love that they have things like an optional talent section. That's something that really connected with me, because I think that that's something I'm definitely interested in. And yeah, once I started doing a bit of research into Miss World, I hadn't heard of it until I met Esma. But once I started researching it, I just knew, I was like, this is where I want to be. This feels me.
You've made Lauren's day also by saying you're a fellow Welshie. You can see OMG. We love a fellow Welshie. Do you speak any Welsh?
No, I don't, unfortunately. I sound quite Australian, and my dad does also sound Australian, but my grandpa and my grandma had the thickest, most beautiful, most melodic Welsh accents you've ever heard. And I really do want to go to Wales one day to just hear the accents. That's one that I should get down, actually, a Welsh accent.
It's one of the hard. I'm not an acting accent expert by any means, but I found the Welsh one harder one to imitate than Scottish. Have you also seen that Welsh place name? You must have that one that, like, basically if I typed it out, it would take the entire,
very
that
long.
One.
Yes.
If you ever need talent round, just say that word. Say that word. Lauren can actually say that fluently, and it's.
I have to hear it one day.
All I can ever remember is that it ends in go go go. Well, actually, Lauren, since you're there, can you copy and paste it in a comment, and then I'll show it to Emma.
Oh no!
She can try saying it.
Try and say it.
Also, you reminded me when you mentioned that you like comedy because of your surname. Can you just tell the people what you did for your intro? You've done it twice now, haven't you? Or have you only done it once? Okay, do your intro for us. The stage is yours.
So I walked out and I said, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Emma Snow, and yes, winter is coming." Go to
What
take it.
reaction did you get?
I got a
What?
huge laugh. I got a really big laugh from the audience, which was
Thank
nice
God.
because I wanted
Yeah.
to get that.
Yeah, there's
Oh
nothing
no.
worse than coming out saying something like that and then it's greeted by stunned silence.
Yes.
Oh,
I
that
think
would
as
not be.
well, when girls get up and do their pageant intros, the audience isn't always expecting a joke in there. So it can be a bit
No, we're
kind of,
not.
no. And I noticed that sometimes the last time I competed in the preliminaries, I just noticed the crowd was very kind of quiet, not really reacting to the girls. So I thought, like, let's get everyone involved. And I wasn't
Emma,
planning on putting that
we're
joke
bored.
in. Yeah.
As someone who's been in many pageant audiences, we're bored because that's not when the exciting stuff has happened.
Yes, when 30 girls get up and talk. But I was right in the middle, and I remember just thinking I feel like the crowd's not super involved, and I wasn't going to do the joke again, but I got out there and I did it, and everyone laughed, and the audience was a bit more lively after that. And I was like, yes, let's have some fun, guys.
Oh, and also, to be fair, you'd be more memorable after that. So I
Yes.
think that's a good thing. Do you have another one lined up, or do you come up with these jokes on the spot?
I usually try and prepare it. I do often ask my friends, as someone who's only watched 2 seasons of Game of Thrones, I don't know a lot about Jon Snow, so I often ask my friends who have seen it, can you give me any Jon Snow jokes that I can chuck in there? But I feel like it's a bit outdated now that it's ended so long ago and ended so poorly. Yeah.
You've watched only 2 seasons. I've watched Fat Zero. I have no idea what Game of Thrones is about, and I don't want to get into it because I don't. I get addicted to Netflix things and things like that easily. And once I watch one
Same.
episode, I can't stop. It's like junk food, and I don't want to do that. So I'm staying well away from that.
I'm the same.
I'm sure. I mean, your name lends itself easily to many sort of good puns, so I'm sure you can
Yes.
figure it out. Sandra Tong, great interview, Emma. Well done. You've
Thank
got Lauren
you.
excited. She is now saying, OMG, I can teach you Welsh.
Yes,
She's
please.
also said, okay, I found a new bestie. Lauren, are you on the siders again? You sound like you're on the podcast. She had a cider. All right. Would you like to give that a go, Emma?
No, I would not. I would not like to go there. You're
Oh
right.
my,
I can tell you the end is go go go.
that's all. The problem with Welsh is that it's all consonants, and this actually means something as well. It's not just a
Mm,
random collection of I face smashed the keyboard.
mm.
It actually means like something like church by building by river by waterfall or something. So,
It's beautiful.
and I think LLAN
Yeah.
says fan. I've heard it so many times now I should be able to say that. But if you ever want talent round, just say
I
that. I mean,
just
can
say
you
that
imagine
word.
if you were a pageant girl and you came from that place? Can you imagine having to? I mean, your introduction. Come on stage and say that. Like, good luck to you.
I would give that girl a round of applause if she could say that.
Kyle Casey Cuthbert has said, "Spill that tea, honey." Have we spilled any
Thanks.
tea yet?
We haven't
Don't think
spilled
we've.
any tea, Kyle.
No tea spilling just yet. So, Emma, apart from the acting and apart from the pageantry, what do you do in your spare time or downtime, if you have any? Because a lot of pageant girls seem not to. But to relax or unwind, what do you do apart from watching horror movies to put you to sleep?
Mm. Well, you're definitely right. Usually, apart from isolation, I don't often have downtime. Um, I honestly, I watch a lot of movies. I cook a lot. I love food. Like most pageant girls, I love food. My dad was a chef growing up, so he really taught me how to
Wow.
cook. And it hasn't been great for me for isolation because I will just decide to make a fresh loaf of bread every single morning, and then it'll be gone by that night. Um, and it's just a vicious cycle. And then I make another loaf of bread. So I've been cooking a lot. I find that very relaxing. And I also live right near a beautiful big park it's got a waterfall. It's just the most beautiful walking trail. So I often just go walking and get my body moving. especially in times where like it's cold and we're not always motivated to go out and exercise. At the moment, I'm doing my best to keep myself moving.
In terms of the cooking, I mean, I can't let that go. So what are the favorite foods to cook or to consume on a regular basis? Let's get into the juicy stuff here. Let's spill the tea now.
Let's spill the tea. I love pasta more than life itself. And
That's dangerous.
I could eat it for every meal, but I force myself not to. I love pastas. I love stir fries. I love anything with noodles, like pad thai. Pizza, very partial to pizza. Just all
so basically, you're Italian.
Yes, that's right.
Can't blame you on that one. I can't say no to a good. Have you ever tried making your own fresh pasta?
No, I haven't. I feel like I should. I would love to make my own gnocchi because I love gnocchi.
You know Clara?
Yes, I do.
Clara has asked Clara.
Okay, Clara's coming around. She's making me gnocchi.
And she's Italian as well, so I feel that she would be a good place to start. I'm surprised you haven't tried making your own pasta. It's a lot of fun after a stressful day because you have to pound the bejesus out of it. So if you ever have a stressful day and you need, no joke, you need to really stretch it out and smack it. So if you have a stressful day, I recommend making fresh pasta. But I will say your kitchen will not be clean afterwards. It'll be like a flour bomb hit it because there will be flour amazing. Okay.
It'll give me something to do to clean it up.
Okay, all right. That's a good way of looking at it.
I know. Always look on the bright side, I'd say.
Lauren here said, imagine having to fit all that on a sash. I don't think they make sashes long enough. And then Lauren here said, LL in Welsh is said like thle. So if I go back to thlan fair, gwyn gil go. I'm butchering. One day I will learn how. Every time anyone mentions Welsh, I ask them, "Can you say that word?" And every time someone says they can do an accent, I get them to show it. I'm becoming infamous for that. So the joke is, don't tell me you can do an accent because I'm going to make you say it. Now, Lauren has asked, Miss World focuses on beauty with a purpose. Do you know what your project would be if you are fortunate enough to be crowned the new Miss World Australia?
You know what? I've thought about this a lot. And I remember speaking with you about this, Adrian, when you caught up with me in Melbourne. And what we kind of discovered together is that my passion has always lied within the arts. And at the moment, I'm sure you're very aware that the arts is being faced with severe budget cuts. The arts are being defunded essentially, and it's going to have a huge toll on not only Australian artists, but also the Australian economy. The arts account for so much revenue yearly within Australia, and we are such an amazing creative country, and I feel like we can't let that go to waste. So a lot of what I would be doing would be trying to connect as many people as I can to the arts, especially within regional communities. Having gone to university in a regional town, I can see how important it is to connect smaller or not so metropolitan towns to the arts, because it really has an amazing effect. I think the arts can heal just about anything.
I obviously keep a close eye on what's happening in the UK. I know that there's a very similar situation going on in the UK with the arts, not just acting, the arts in general being defunded. I'm sure it's the same across many countries because obviously there's a huge economic crisis occurring at the same time. So, okay. Well, just before, we always wrap up with the same 10 questions at the end. But just before we do that, I like to give everyone a chance to do any shout outs or thanks. So is there anyone that you would like to give a shout out to or just say thanks to for supporting you, not only in your pageant journey, but just life in general as well?
I'll definitely give a shout out to my mum, who's up in Corowa at the moment. I know she's watching. She might have my nana there everyone's watching up there. I won't be able to see them for quite a while now that we're going into lockdown. So definitely hi, Mum, if you're still watching. And to my dad as well, who tuned in from his house. He's not connected, so he won't be able to say hi back, but hopefully he's watching. So hello to my lovely dad. And then, yes, all of my amazing friends, Josh, if you're watching, Charlotte, Midge, Kyle, of course, all of my friends in Australia.
I'm sure
They're fans too. They'll tell me that they are. But yeah, everyone who's in Australia, a lot of my friends who support me over in the UK as well, all of my friends in America as well. I have kind of friends, you meet people throughout acting and pageantry as well that just support you from all over. So anyone who's kind of watching, who's supported me, who's left a donation for Variety as well, who has ever made a donation during my pageant journey, is a huge thank you.
Where is Corowa, where you said your mum is? I don't actually know where that is.
Corowa is on the border of New South Wales and Victoria. So she's in the New South Wales border town. Right. And then Waganya is the neighbouring town. It's kind of like Albury, Wodonga.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the lockdown. Do you just quickly want to update us on what's happening so if you're watching from the UK and you don't know, I'm in Sydney, which is in New South Wales. Emma is in Melbourne, which is in Victoria, which is directly down south to us. And those are the biggest two states. And Victoria has had a second spike in corona. And Emma, do you just want to update us with what's happening with that? Because this is breaking news. I haven't heard the details of it yet.
Yeah, of course. Firstly, hello, Amy. I forgot to shout you out. She just commented, I love you so much. Don't know what I'd do without you. And I can't believe I forgot you. But yes, at the moment, it was announced yesterday that Victoria will be entering a 6-week lockdown with the borders having close to New South Wales. And it's just going to be what it kind of was before. Yeah. Which is hard, but it's necessary. I know that we're all going to come out of this on the other side a lot better off for it. Obviously, it's going to be hard. I'm not going to be able to see my family. I'm going to be isolating at my own apartment with my housemate for the time being, just to keep my family safe. But yeah, basically, there's a lot of situations happening in Melbourne at the moment. We did go lockdown in just particular suburbs, which I didn't essentially agree with, because I thought if we're going to do a lockdown, we should be locking down everyone. It's kind of hard to just pick and choose certain suburbs to put into this. Yeah. But yes, basically 6 weeks of at home.
Oh dear. All right. I think for many of us, the end of 2020 can't come soon enough.
That's right.
Hope that we learn some lessons from maybe some of the mistakes that we've made. Rhonda, Lindsay, so your mum has said very proud of you.
Oh.
Lauren Parkinson, you haven't answered, Lauren, whether you're on the Siders again, but she said huge good luck for Miss World Australia.
Oh, thank you.
And she who was forgotten, yes, beautiful girl.
Amy, I can't believe that you're going to hate me.
I'm sure she'll give you a second chance.
She's never going to forgive me.
Or she can extort something from you for that. Okay, so we will go to the final 10 questions. We always wrap up with the same 10. They are not rapid fire. You do not need to answer them as quickly as you can, but if you want to, as acting training, I don't know, maybe. Okay, so question 1, what is your favorite word?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I would say plant at the moment. Plant.
Really? Not just because it's behind you?
No, I'm filling my house with plants at the moment. I have so many, and it's my goal to keep them alive during isolation.
I had the opposite of a green thumb. If you give me any plant, I'll kill it. I even managed to kill a cactus. How do you kill a cactus? Not on purpose. Don't look at me like that. I don't do it on purpose. Just they all die around me. I don't know. Overwatered it, underwatered it. Anyway, question 2, what is your least favorite word?
I would say moist. That's probably a common one.
Can you just say that word again?
Moist.
Now, can you say it without the? Can you say it without the facial expression of disgust?
I'm gonna laugh. Moist.
I feel that should be an advertisement for a skin cream or something. Just literally moist.
If I ever get an ad that I have to say moist in, just moist.
I'm going to clip that. I can see I'm going to clip that out and then just put like some sort of subtitles over it with a skin cream in the background. Moist. Yeah. Moving. God. Okay, moving on. That's classic. Question 3. In life, what gets you excited? What turns you on?
Oh, you know what? Dogs. Dogs get me excited. I love dogs.
Do you have one?
I do. I don't have one at my apartment. My dad has one, and I went and visited her last night, and it was so nice. But I often just go for walks near the park at my house and just look at all the dogs, and it really fills that hole in my heart.
Oh, wow. Okay. Are you one of those annoying people who runs up to everyone else's dog and has to basically, fawn over them the whole time? And, oh, there's a doggy there. Oh, what a cute puppy. And, 5 hours later, you're still in the park.
No, I don't usually go up to dogs unless it's a really cute one. I love like sausage dogs, little dash hounds. If I see one and I have the opportunity to pat it, I really have to go for it. Otherwise, if it's a really big dog, like a Rottweiler, I had a Rottweiler growing up, and she was just the most beautiful, gentle, amazing dog. And so whenever I see one in the park, I know that it's the biggest and most intimidating looking dog, but I have to go and pat it.
It could be bigger than you if it's a big Rottweiler. Question 4, what turns you off?
I would say arrogance and entitlement.
Fair enough. Question 5, what sound or noise do you love?
I love the sound of when I'm walking through the park near my house and there's the river, just listening to the river when it's actually flowing, or when I walk past the waterfall and just hearing that water rushing. It's really relaxing.
Yeah, I do love the river that runs through the middle of Melbourne. That's something certainly Sydney doesn't have. We have the harbour, but I love the river as well.
Yeah.
Question 6, what sound or noise do you hate?
Oh, I hate the sound of people eating or hearing people chewing. You know
I know. I just have to ask at this stage, how bad is it? Because there's one girl in the UK, when she hears chewing noises, it's so bad she has to leave the room or she just breaks out into tears. My last interview with Natalie Draut over in America, she hates the sound of her own chewing so much that she needs to turn her computer on and turn it up full blast so she can't hear herself chewing. So how bad is it for you?
Oh my God, it's not quite that bad. It's more if someone's chewing with their mouth open, or they're just eating really loudly.
And
yeah, it's that.
I can't. Yeah,
terrible.
That is the worst sound in the world. I have to agree with you on that one. Question 7: if you could have any one superpower, what would you pick and why?
I was going to say flying, but then I remember I'm scared of heights. I don't know how I would go with that. If I could have flying and also not being scared of heights, that would be ideal.
I reckon that would work, because if you can fly, then you probably wouldn't be afraid of heights. Because as I say, no one's afraid of heights. People are afraid of falling. So It's not the fall that kills you, it's the landing. So if you can fly, that fear is gone, right? So you'd be fine.
It would be kind of a bad deal if I asked for flying and then I just took off and I was so terrified the whole time. My fear didn't go away.
It would make for good content. It would make a good TikTok. Girl who flies but is scared of heights. So Just fly up there and start screaming and come back down. Question 8. What job or occupation other than your own would you most like to attempt?
I want to, I would love to be a, what's the right word? Study forensic science and criminology and work in the field of, solving cold cases and investigating crime scenes, basically.
Should I be worried at all by the fact that you want to investigate crime scenes and you watch horror movies to fall asleep?
No, not at all.
No, of course not. That's not suspicious at all.
No, not at all. Don't worry about it, Adrian.
Serial killer. New serial killer suspected in Victoria. Question 9. What occupation would you definitely not like to attempt?
Someone who cleans sewers.
Oh, I've seen that particular. Yeah, the people actually clean out the drains. There are things like called fatbergs that clog up the sewers because of how much fat we consume. And there are literally things clogging up sewers called, I think, fatbergs. And they've got like McDonald's stuff stuck in them, congealed, and it's just this massive sort of blob of fat. Can you imagine the smell, but also the sight, just fat? It's like, oh,
no.
There you go. I'm super hungry now. How about you?
Yeah, I could go for some McDonald's.
Yeah. Final question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
I would like to hear God say, "You made a difference."
Very nice. I do feel, because you're an actress, I have to ask you a bonus question. Do you know where I stole these questions from?
No, I don't. Can you give me a hint?
Oh, it's something to do with acting. That's why I'm asking. There's a very, very famous show. The host died recently. I think it was within the last couple of years. And he interviewed a lot of actors and really, really famous ones. And he always finished his show with the same 10 questions.
Oh, I don't know who it is, though.
When we get off this interview, look up Inside the Actors Studio.
Oh,
James Lipton.
Yes.
He finished every interview, and I love that show. He had people like Robert Downey Jr. on. He had Robin Williams on, and I just love those final 10 questions. He didn't come up with them; he stole them from someone else as well. But I'll credit it to him. Anyway, so yeah, I thought you know that as an actor. No one knows it, but I thought as an actor I had a chance.
No, I can't believe I didn't know that.
Anyway, okay, so Amy, I don't know if this means she's forgiven you or whether she's going to extort you for favors.
She's crying.
No, that's laughing crying though. Lauren said just woke up from a nap. Lauren, it's 1 a.m. Okay.
Yeah, what time is it over there?
1 in the morning. Lauren, the other Lauren, has said massive congratulations and wish you all the best for Miss World Australia.
Oh, thank you, Lauren.
Just I didn't get a chance to ask Emma, when is the next confirmed event for you in terms of the pageant? We
honestly still don't know. I know that they've just announced they're doing an online preliminary for WA next month, which will be good, but we're not sure when the next live final will be, obviously with the lockdown and everything.
Yeah, it's always changing, isn't it? And she's also said that M word is just the worst. So why don't we wrap up? Do you want to, again, just one more time for fun, do you want to say moist and say it with, I don't know, let's do it with a content expression. Let's test the range of your acting. Can you do content?
Let me just find a nice kind of relaxed position. Just, moist. How is that?
I can see the insanity in your eyes as you're trying to control the look on your face. Your eyes are screaming, even though your face is... It's hilarious. Okay. And Lauren here has said it's 4 minutes to 1 in the morning. I don't understand time zones. Well, there's not much to understand, but yeah, it's a different time for you guys than it is for us. Anyway, Emma, thank you for jumping on with us. Thank you for your time and best of luck with everything.
Oh, thank you so much. It was so nice to see you again.
It's nice to hear an Australian accent on the other side of the line and to not have to do an interview at 6 a.m. So thank you.
You're very welcome.
More civilized. Guys, thanks for watching. Emma, I'll keep you on the line for just a second after we hang up. But thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for the questions. And we will speak to you next time. Hey guys, it's Adrian again. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And remember to head over to pageantlaunch.com and join the launch team for our pageant review site. All you need to do is put in your email address. Thanks, and speak to you next time.